What if that deep tissue massage you've been getting isn't actually fixing the problem? What if it's just making the body go numb enough that it feels like something happens? Because I get it. When something hurts, we want to feel the work, to feel the elbow, the pressure, that moment when we're breathing through thinking, okay, this must be doing something. But more pressure doesn't mean more results. Too much pressure creates guarding, irritation, and inflammation in the exact spot that we're trying to get released. In this video, I want to break down the real difference between deep tissue and myofascial release, and why I use one as my go-to and the other in spots where it's needed. Before we can compare deep tissue and myofascial release, I want you to think of pressure like dose. Dose, the amount you take, like prescriptions. Take one pill and that might help. If you take 30 pills, it's not 30 times better. Depending on what it is, that could put you in the hospital. Bodywork works the same way. Pressure is not just a preference. It is a dose your nervous system responds to. Too little pressure can feel annoying or questioning what's going on. The right amount of pressure can signal the tissues to release, or a different amount of right pressure can help fluid flow. But too much pushes the body into protection, guarding, irritating the tissue. And this is where deep tissue gets tricky, because a certain amount of deeper pressure can be useful in the right way. But when more pressure is the whole strategy, it becomes about what is being done, not listening to the body. And this is the first thing to understand. Amount changes what something is. Just like dose. Think of water. At one temperature, water is a liquid. You can drink it, you can bathe in it, you can float in it. Change the temperature enough and now it's ice. Change it more, totally different experience, now it's steam. Again, same substance, but now it can burn you. And even when it's still technically water, the effect changes depending on the amount of heat. Warm water in a bath can relax your body. Boiling water can cook pasta, but you wouldn't want to climb into that boiling water. Pressure works the same way. We tend to talk about massage like pressure is just a personal preference. Do you want light pressure, medium pressure, or deep pressure? But pressure is not a comfort setting. Pressure and duration change what the work is actually doing to the body. They change what the body is hearing, what the body is ready for. A flowing massage stroke can move fluid through the body, helping circulation, helping lymph and blood flow. And sometimes people just need to be rolled out a little bit. Or it's about communication. It's using touch, time, and attention to speak to the nervous system. The goal is not to force the tissue open. The goal is to help the body feel safe enough to relieve. And that's why it can feel subtle at first. When the body receives myofascial release, it can create a very different type of change. That's why myofascial release can feel subtle at first, before the awareness is built. And when the body receives it, it creates a very different kind of change. The tissues soften, the breath changes, the body drops out of defense. People come out of those sessions, feel spacey, calm, sometimes as if they've entered a time vortex, because the nervous system finally got the message that it didn't have to hold so hard. What I tell people is it's subtle till it's not. The same way drinking a glass of water or winning a reward, when the point is hit, you feel it. The biggest argument for deep tissue, in my view, is ischemic compression. Focused pressure to a specific area, which temporarily reduces or stops blood flow there. And when the pressure is released, blood flow comes back into that spot. That rebound is the point. Think squeezing a sponge. While you're squeezing it, fluid is pushed out. When you let it go, fluid rushes back in. It can trigger a healthy local inflammation response. Also, the health from increasing blood flow. Imagine turning the lights on, turning the volume up, or giving the body a strong input to respond to. Switching to myofascial release. It's a different tool. Myofascial release is looking to create a clear signal. It's a downshift. It's a way of saying to the nervous system, you don't have to brace right now. You don't have to protect so hard. You can feel this area again. So if deep tissue is more stimulating, myofascial release is more regulating. It helps the body settle enough to listen. And that's why these two types of bodyworks can feel so different. Deep tissue often gives you immediate sensation. You feel the pressure, you feel the ache, you feel the intensity. And you feel that pressure high afterwards, like something big just happened. But part of that feeling also is a numbing. And numbing is tricky because numbing can feel like relief. Think about looking straight into the sun. Your eyes don't open wider so they can take in more light. They contract. They protect from the intensity. The body does the same thing with strong pressure. When the signal gets loud enough, the nervous system reduces perception. When the signal gets loud enough, the nervous system reduces perception, turning the volume down. And it can feel like, oh wow, that worked. But the question is, did the tissue actually release? Or did the body just turn down the signal because it was too much? And that's the itch effect. If you've had an itch, you scratch it hard enough, you can overwhelm the sensation for a moment. It feels satisfying. It feels as relief. But if you scratch something, the skin gets irritated. The itch can come back louder. You can get that sensation. You can get that intensity, that temporary relief. But if the body responds by guarding, numbing, or getting irritated, then the pattern didn't get resolved. It just gave it a louder input. And these are the risks with deep tissue, which can happen when deep tissue goes too far. And anytime you're going hard, the risks of negative consequences go up. Think about going for a walk or doing wind sprints with no warm-up. Which one do you think you're more likely to pull a muscle? Which means there are times deep tissue just doesn't fit the problem at hand. That's why I think of deep tissue and myofascial release as two different things. Deep tissue is wake up, move, respond. Myofascial release is slow down, listen, release. So this is the framework I use now. I'm not asking how deep can I go? I'm asking what is the body asking for? Because most of the people I work with are already overstimulated. They're running too hot for too long. Their nervous system has been on high alert. Their muscles are already bracing. Their mind is already trying to manage too much. Their body is tired but can't fully rest. And when someone comes in that state, adding more intensity is not what their body is asking for. That's why I use myofascial release so often, because it's about where the client is when they come in. And me as a practitioner, it lets me communicate with the nervous system. It lets me slow down enough to feel what layer I'm actually working with. It lets the body show me where it's ready to open. Instead of me deciding from the outside, this is the area that needs to be forced. And because this work is not constantly pushing the body over its threshold, I can often do more over time. People can come in more consistently. Sessions can be closer together. And because I'm not pushing so hard, we're building awareness, and it's reducing that risk in two ways. Not going hard, and people can tell way quicker if something doesn't feel right. That matters. Because the goal is to create change that holds. And what I've seen with my clients is that when the body starts to feel safe enough to soften, the benefits are not just physical. Yes, they feel more open, more mobile, and more at ease in their body. And they also feel more connected to themselves. They notice their breath, what emotion they're feeling, notice where they've been holding, protecting, or where they've had movements that don't serve them. That's why I describe myofascial release as awareness medicine. It's not just about getting a muscle to loosen. It's about helping someone come back into relationship with their body. And will I go deep? Yes, but only when the body allows it. That's the difference. I'm not doing a deep tissue session where the whole goal is to go deep everywhere. I'm going to the pressure I feel the tissue is asking for. And this can be gentle at times. It can be firm. I can even go deeper if the body invites me. And I've noticed that, where the body opens up and I go incredibly deep. But I'm not here to force my way in. I'm here to open the layers. And that is a totally different mindset. And when I first started in this work, I had that. Do more pressure. That was the industry belief I had. No pain gain, breathe through it. If it hurts, that means we've found something. And to be fair, that belief has been around for a long time. So a lot of people come in expecting that. They think if they're not wincing, if they're not gripping the table, if they're not sore afterwards, maybe it wasn't enough. But over and over again, I've found the opposite. Going slower, being more intentional, and staying above the threshold of pain produces better results. It's also more enjoyable to receive. Which means my framework is simple. If the body needs flow, I use massage. If the body needs communication, I use myofascial release. I use the body's response to tell me what to do. Does the breath change? Does the tissue soften? Does the body open up? That tells me what to do next. Because the best body work is not about proving how much pressure someone can take. It's about giving the body the exact input it needs to change. If you like this video, click a subscribe.